Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to do a quick look at the playoff picture for the National League. We're heading into the second half of the season. We're already one series deep, and normally on Sundays we do a power rankings video, but we're only 3 days since our last one, really, because of the All-Star break. We broke down the American League yesterday, and today I just want to take a look at the National League. Before we do, go down there, like, subscribe, join the community. We're looking for fans from all across North America, the world really, that cheer for all the different teams. So I'd love to start hearing some voices from some of the teams we don't have yet. So if you're new, join the community. In this case, I'm going to start things off looking at the National League West. I think at this rate, we know that two teams in the wild card are going to come from this division. It really is going to come down to who wins the division and then who goes into the one-game playoff race. Right now, we're looking at San Francisco, who has a one-game lead over the Dodgers. If you ask me, my money would be on the Dodgers to make up that one game and catch up to the Giants. Sure, the Giants have been super hot so far this season. I'm having a hard time buying into them being able to hold off the Dodgers. The Dodgers offense has just been amazing. Well, the Giants have had great pitching, and eventually I think it's going to catch up to them, and slowly but surely the Dodgers are catching up. Next, we have San Diego in the division. They're 5 games back from San Francisco. They're going to have to leapfrog 2 teams. Sure, it looks like so far their offense has been picking up, but I think on paper, if we're looking at the greater whole of these teams with the pitching, I have a lot more faith in the pitching of the other 2 teams. So I hold San Diego right now to being able to lock up one of those wild card spots. And right now they do have that lead. Looking at the East now, we got the Mets, who are 533 on the season, leading the way with only 2 games behind. They got the Philadelphia Phillies, who I would think at this rate have a good chance of catching up. And if I had to pick a team right now, I think I would pick the Phillies to catch up. The Mets, they've had a hot start. They've managed their way out of all these injuries so far, but I think it's going to start to catch up to them. Big question mark around DeGrom right now. He's had a couple issues throughout the season, kind of staggered out where he's left games early, keeping it slow with him. So I just don't see them being able to hold it together down the stretch. And at this point, I have the Phillies having a little bit of the edge, winning the division. I think at the end of the day, only one team is going to come out of this division into the playoffs. Like I said, I see the West as being the wild card spots. We do have the Atlanta Braves, who are 4 games back. Losing Acuna has been a really tough blow to this team's chances, in my opinion. They just haven't been able to get past 500. But we'll see if they can do it. Right now they're 489. And then we got the Nationals, who technically 10 games back of a wild card, but 6 games back in the division. If they get enough heat, they could close the gap, but they do have to hop 3 teams. But I'm throwing them in there as at least having a chance. At this point, same story kind of going on with the National League Central. We got the Brewers, who have a pretty big lead in the division. So believe it or not, the guys in the Central have a better shot of catching the wild card right now. Again, I don't know if that's going to be a possibility going down the stretch. Cincinnati is closest in the gap at this point, 7 games back in the division, 5.5 of the wild card, and then we got both the bottom teams who are 9 games back in the division. Brewers have had quite a hot streak over the last month and a half. They just handled the Reds over these past 3 games after giving up some ground before the All-Star break. Now the Brewers have made quite a big gap here. And if you're asking me at this point, I think the Cubs they're kind of dealing with an identity crisis. They're not sure if they're going to push for a playoff, if they're going to sell at the deadline. At this rate, I think they'd make a tough decision. They should probably sell. You got 3 teams that they're going to have to hop at this rate. And that's it. That's pretty much the playoff picture. Like I said, the East, they're basically playing for one spot, 533 leading the division. Any team really has a shot. I'm taking the Phillies at this point. We got 3 teams over here who are been leading the National League all season long. I think they're taking all playoff spots, and the bottom 2 teams are going to face off in the wild card match. And at this rate, I think that's going to be San Francisco and San Diego. And of course, the winner of that team will end up playing the Dodgers if the Dodgers win the division. Last one here, I have the Brewers again taking this one home, and we got 3 teams here who are all jockeying, and technically they have a spot The numbers say the best chance they have is on a wild card. I'm not so sure. I think if one of those teams is going to make the playoffs, they're going to have to leapfrog the Brewers. That's just the way I see the divisions breaking down. So let me know what you guys think, how these divisions are going to break down, what your predictions are for playoffs, who's going to come out of each division, who's going to play who's going to take the wild cards. And anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys for that next video.